Record delays in production materials and input prices at a 13-year high have halted the growth of global manufacturing. Central banks in the US are reconsidering their view that inflation is transitory, even as they warn of earlier than expected interest rate hikes. And even as demand rises overall, China is slowing down manufacturing in a bid to tackle the severe power shortage. Christmas shopping season might just turn into a somber affair, with toy and Christmas paraphernalia manufacturers in China suspending production, while logjams in ports across the EU and the UK intensify. More on this and how global missteps in procurement might just be at the root of it all. This is Procurement Shorts, where you can get your daily dose of news on what's impacting the world of procurement and supply chain. A UK parliamentary committee blamed the Ministry of Defence of indulging in broken military procurement practices that have resulted in repeated wastage of billions of pounds of taxpayer money. The MOD's poor procurement practices were spotlighted due to a €5.5 billion program for a family of armoured vehicles that should have seen deliveries 4 years ago. These were meant to be part of the Army's transition to an era of high-tech warfare. The situation faced by the UK's MOD is a real-life metaphor of the global procurement problems that have exacerbated into supply chain issues across the world today. During the pandemic, when consumers stopped spending, a number of companies across industries from automobiles to toy makers canceled orders for spare parts and raw materials. During the pandemic, there were no alternate manufacturers to source from, or open ports that container ships could be diverted to. And when the global lockdowns lifted, producers across the globe reeled from this year's consumer rebound. Nobody has enough raw materials or parts or inventory or sufficient stock of their finished product to match the still booming demand. Imagine you had a London eye view of the global supply chain predicament. Here's what you might see. Companies across the world suspend or cancel procurement during the pandemic in 2020. Companies also lay off millions of employees across all sectors during this period. Lockdowns begin to relax. Consumers across the globe who have saved over $2.3 trillion are now ready to spend it all. Global manufacturing hubs in China and Vietnam begin to overcompensate for lost time and canceled orders. China begins to burn more coal than the entire world combined to drive the manufacturing engine. Severe coal shortage ensues. Power outages follow. Manufacturing begins to slow, even as demand and new orders pile up. COVID lockdowns continue to roll across the world, disrupting manufacturing in Vietnam and other alternate manufacturing sites in Asia. Container vessel traffic booms, creating logjams in ports across the globe. A vessel is wedged in the Suez Canal, causing the delay of over 400 other vessels by a week. A dozen major storms occur. Truckers and dock workers who were fired during the lockdown refuse to return to work, creating a shortage of over 100,000 truckers in the UK and 96,000 in the US. Empty containers sit at ports, creating huge bottlenecks, increasing the average wait time for materials to 96 days. Shipping grows costlier, goods grow scarce. Inflation is fanned and raises retail prices by 6 to 10%, and that is not even the end of Act 1. The takeaway here is that globally there is now a shortage of materials and of human resources, caused in part by traditional procurement models that have proven to be unfeasible. Even Amazon's latest bid to attract and hire over 200,000 employees by offering high starting salaries, $3,000 bonuses, and $1,000 referral incentives isn't finding enough traction. Innovations such as AI-powered smart sourcing have helped some firms to reduce cost by 46% while adhering to business requirements. Companies now need to contend with working with a remote workforce of procurement teams who may be quarantined or ordered to stay home. Events such as pandemics and climate change-related natural disasters are no more considered black swans. Risk mitigation planning, therefore, must take these into account. If there is one thing that procurement gurus across the world seem to agree on, it is the need to initiate capabilities such as agility and quick adaptation to situations in flux. A system of analysis that feeds on continual inflow of user data and processes that can be run safely and securely from anywhere in the world are the need of the hour. Well, that's all the time we have for today.